L'chaim v'libracha, to life and to blessings. Give life. How do you give life? When do we give life? To whom do we give life? Of course, parents give life to a child. If someone needs an opportunity in life and you give them that opportunity, you're giving them life. When we come from Yom Kippur and we've cleansed, as Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, we've cleansed our soul. We're given a new lease on life, a new beginning. All of these are very real. So give life to ourselves. We did on Yom Kippur. We can give life to others, right? Someone needs food to live. You gave them life. They need a job to work. You give them life. You say a nice thing to somebody when they are down and out. You share with them a warm, kind word. You give them life. These are things that we do, hopefully, day in, day out, for ourselves and for those around us, to give life. L'chaim, which means to life, to our lives, and to the lives that we touch, should be l'chaim v'bracha, to life and for blessings. Welcome to Tanya Today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zich and Kadesh in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We all want to have life. And whenever we're short of breath, we feel our lives, right? We need that extra breath of air to give us life. When we see someone down and out, we feel for them and we want to help and to give life. All that is tremendous, very important, crucial, no doubt. But there's something even more. We can give life to the divine. We give life above in the spiritual realm, to God. How do we give him life? When ultimately he's the source of life. I'm glad you asked the question. Good question. So welcome to Tanya Today. We're in this 21st letter that we're going to conclude today. This letter speaks about tzedakah, charity. We spoke yesterday about the great virtue of tzedakah, of charity. And when you do charity with alacrity, with swiftness, it shows the great devotion you have to the mitzvah, the great love that you have in the mitzvah. Now, the Alter Rebbe goes further, and just to give some background to this letter, to remind us all, is that the Alter Rebbe was collecting funds for the destitute Jewish people, Hasidim, in the land of Israel that was at that time under the Ottoman Empire. People there were completely destitute. So he collected money for families there that they should literally have to be able to have bread on the table, food for babies and the like. So this is where we're going. Now, in giving charity, you can give a whole sum of charity, which is great, whatever the amount is, and it could be. No, there's two there, yeah, or three there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if you want one like this. That's this the Chabad way, and that's the regular. So I have one. Yeah, I have one. Yeah. Okay. I take from over there, and then two.
You to sign the seat for delivery.
Here. Oh, you have? Okay. Thank you.
How are you?
Okay. Sorry, folks. It's active here before. Huh? Checked it?
Yep.
Okay. Leave one for okay. Yeah, you'll leave one on top there for us. Well, he'll leave it. He'll leave it. Okay. So in giving, whatever let's say a total amount, someone's giving $100 or $1,000, whatever it might be. So many people feel that, give it in one shot. And, the recipient may be very happy to get in one shot. But there's something about giving the exact same amount, but doing it many times. Doing it many times. The act of giving. Why? Because as Maimonides explains, that everything is judged according to multiplicity of action. In other words, by the act of giving, you are refining yourself each time. So if you gave one time, albeit maybe a larger amount, it's only one time of self-refinement. But if that same $1,000, you gave it, $20 a week, 50 weeks, because that's what you're giving, the sum total of $1,000 for the year, then, doing it weekly, each time you're getting a mitzvah, each time you're getting a self-refinement in the act of giving. Just to give you an idea of what this means, my children, my wife and I, our children, when they were young, 2 years old, 3 years old, they saw money, they called it tzedakah. Sometimes they couldn't say that, tzedakah, right? They would say, why? Because all they saw that we used money, in their world at least, they saw that we're taking a coin and putting it into a charity box, into a pushka. And they saw that constantly, that we're doing it and we're having them do it. So their outlook on money was a very healthy one, that their early stages of their lives, and I'm sure it probably helps them in how to deal with money appropriately, is that money is a means to do something good with it, rather than it's a means to, power, self-glorification, self-indulgement. That's not what they knew of money. They grew older, then they know, oh, money can buy me a candy, and then it can buy me, money can buy me a bicycle, now it can buy you a car, right?
Is this for me?
That's for you, the last one.
Are you serious? I like coming to first. No, I like the last one when they need 10.
All right.
I got to tell you what we did.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm online giving a class. We'll have to speak later, Carl. Check downstairs in his office. I think he's gone, but check.
You're on the thing. I know you do the online stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
A good gebenchte Yantiv. Say, enjoy.
We're back Wednesday night.
Okay. So hopefully we'll be in a sukkah together. We'll fabring.
Yeah.
We'll catch up. All right. Good jontiv. Regards. So, sorry. So yes, my kids, they saw it at tzedakah. That's what money is. How beautiful is that? Right? Because there's a refinement right there. Because they constantly seeing that we're taking money and putting it into a charity box. And therefore that's how they saw it, right? Now, so that's what Maimonides says. So that's the first point. Second point is a mystical idea of a tzedakah is that when we are charitable, we draw down life from above, from the fountainhead of life, God. And where do we draw life to? To the land of life. The land of life, right? We're drawing it from the fountainhead of life, which is beyond the world of Atzilus, the world of emanation, right? Beyond creation. And we draw it into Malchus of Atzilus, which Malchus of Atzilus is 10th of the 10 divine attributes, the lowest of the divine attributes. So it's sort of like land is the lowest point. So it is the land in spiritual terms, not physical land, but the concept of land being the lowest is Malchus of Atzilus, right? We draw their life by when we give life, right? Oh, oh man. So the land of life, Malchus of Atzilus, which is the Shekhinah, the divine presence of God. His presence, that's where it is, which gives strength, the divine presence, because the divine presence, Malchus, kingship, royalty, is what animates all of creation, right? So the source of life, the fountainhead of life, now brings additional life into Malchus, that then now is the form of life, right? The form of life, the fountainhead of life, sorry. And this is what it means, Ata mechaya. You give life, Ata. The word Ata means you. It's spelled Aleph, the first letter, Taf, the last letter, which means the Aleph base, all of the letters of the Aleph base, with the Hey, which is numeric value of 5, the 5 parts of speech, lips, tongue, teeth, palate, and larynx, that make up the letters. Pay with your lips, shin with your teeth, right? And so on and so forth. That they are what gives vitality to this world, right? You give vitality. Now, this isn't particularly so now, because now the Shekhinah, the divine presence of God, is in exile. It's in exile, God's presence. And yet, at the same time, our sages say that when the Jewish people were exiled from Edom, the last exile, the Shekhinah went with us. The divine presence went with us. It went with us, but it's in exile itself, the divine presence, meaning God. His presence is in exile in the world right now. How do we raise it up? How do we take God's presence, it's in exile, and uplift it and reveal it? When we are charitable. When we are charitable, what are we doing when we're giving? we're giving something that could give me life, and I'm giving someone else life. Right? That's what we do here. We're giving life to people. Spiritually, we do that physically too. We give life. When we give life to another, being charitable by giving them, we arouse above the source of life, the fountainhead of life, God, that now brings a new union between the male and female in the divine order of things to now bring a new light, new life into the Shekhinah above, the divine presence of God in the world of Atzilus, the world of emanation, which is again Malchus of Atzilus, the royalty of the kingship of God in the world of Atzilus, that now imbues all of creation with new light, new energy, new divinity from that act of giving to someone who is in need down here. So what we actually do then is bring life to the divine presence of God that's in exile in that moment. We uplift it in the moment. We'll completely uplift it in the times of Mashiach, but in the moment of being charitable, we're uplifting to the divine presence of God, revealing that presence by giving. Whoa, which is amazing. And this also then goes with the idea of the repeated, what the Maimonides said, the repeated giving, right, is a refinement, refines the soul. Well, the word soul also means the word soul also means divine presence of God, because after all, our soul is a piece of God, so it is the divine presence within us that's hidden within us, but it is God's presence within us that's hidden. So when you're giving repeatedly, you're repeatedly creating this union between the male and female in the spiritual realm, that as every union down here creates life, so a spiritual union above that we create by being charitable creates a union above that brings new life into this world, and particularly brings life into the land of life down here, which is the land of Israel. When you give there in particular, right? As a result. Now with this, and we can understand how great charity is, that it brings redemption to the world. Because every time we are taking, just even putting into a charity box, into a pushka, right? Or if you want, we're going to have our campaign coming up. So, can you start putting aside now for the work that we're doing? And every time that you do that, you're creating a union to bringing life down here into this world. New life. You're rejuvenating life in the spiritual realm, in the divine presence of God to reveal that. And you draw that into our world, which is amazing. It's a great power that we have through being charitable. Any questions? I see. Liv Shahalis, can tzedakah be given of yourself? You mean instead of money? Yes. But here we're speaking specifically money, but charity is also giving of your time, right? To help others. That's also an act of charity. But specifically, it's about money, because money is harder to give. And money is something that you work hard for. And that money could have bought you, a better lifestyle, right? More comfort, more pleasure. And you're taking from that comfort and pleasure and giving it away. When you give your time, time to a lot of us is not so meaningful because we waste a lot of time. So you gave your time, which is, it's a mitzvah. It's a beautiful thing. But specifically, we're talking about giving money. That's the specific over here. I hope that's clear. Thank you for that question, Livsha. Beautiful. Folks, amazing. Sukkot tonight. Zman Simchasenu, the time of our rejoicing. And although the world may be going crazy, but the Jewish world, we're stronger than ever. More united. Well, even though that unity is taking a toll right now, and we got to be more united. Yeah, absolutely. All right, folks. Tanya coming up. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Feinkamp, Div Chabad Tzurich and Kadesh from Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have an amazing, great day and a good Yom Tov. The next class will be Thursday. 2 days of holiday, will be no classes. Thank you.